guys, today we're going to talk about social anxiety disorder, a condition that affects about 15 million Americans, including this one. There are some people in the world without social anxiety that face ongoing social interactions with joy. They're like, let's do this, Leroy Jenkins. And then there's people like me who are like, I'll just stay home, thanks. And that's kind of hard to explain because I'm okay with talking to you guys, but there's no script for when I talk to a stranger, so anything could happen. And those endless possibilities are what make me very anxious. But what exactly is social anxiety disorder? Some people just say, isn't it just shyness? Well, no, it's actually a little bit more complicated than that. Social anxiety disorder includes fear of situations where you might be judged, worrying about embarrassing and humiliating yourself, concern that you'll offend someone, intense fear of interacting with or talking with strangers, fears that others will notice and look at you, fear of physical symptoms that may cause you embarrassment, such as blushing, sweating, trembling, and having a shaky voice, avoiding doing things or speaking to people out of fear of embarrassment, avoiding situations where you might be the center of attention, having anxiety in anticipation of a feared activity or event, spending time after a social situation analyzing your performance and identifying the flaws in that performance, expecting the worst possible outcome from a negative experience during a social situation. Physical symptoms of social anxiety disorder include fast heartbeats, sweating, blushing, dizziness or lightheadedness, confusion or feeling out of body, diarrhea, muscle tension, trouble catching your breath. People with social anxiety disorder tend to avoid normal situations, such as using a public restroom, interacting with strangers, eating in front of others, signing their name in front of others, making eye contact, initiating conversations, dating, attending parties or social gathering, going to work or school, entering a room where people have already been seated, or returning items to a store. For me personally, social anxiety has caused a lot of adaptations in my life. If someone is standing in front of my apartment building, I will walk around in the grass instead of walking past them just to avoid interacting with them. If an item is broken, I simply throw it away. I don't think of returning it or getting it fixed because that would include talking with somebody and having an interaction with them. I don't use the laundromat in my apartment building because I don't want to interact with people there. So I use a laundry service where I can just put my items in a bag, leave it on my front porch, and then later in the week they bring it back. It's expensive, more expensive than doing my laundry myself, but to me it's worth it because it decreases my anxiety. I order most of my food off of Amazon, but if I have to go to the store, I go late at night or very early in the morning when there's fewer people there, and I make it a point to not go down aisles where there's a person already there. It takes a long time to get done shopping for me. I've been scared as long as I can remember. My first memory is running away from a butterfly because I was afraid of it. And I'm not telling you that so that you'll go, oh, that's so sad. I'm just letting you know that sometimes anxiety can occur earlier than age 13, which it definitely did in my case. Down in the description, I've linked the Leibowitz Social Anxiety Scale test. Taking this test will give you an idea of whether or not you might have some symptoms that are associated with social anxiety. I scored 105, but I've already been diagnosed with social anxiety, so that wasn't a surprise to me. If you'd like to share your score, put it in the comments below. This year, I have tested my social anxiety limits twice, and it has been worth it each time. Going to meet Dan and Phil was hugely anxiety producing for me. And then going to VidCon later this year was the most anxiety producing thing I think I've ever done in my life. I was physically and emotionally exhausted. I was trembling most of the time. But I'll tell you one thing, it was worth it. I could have sat at home and cried and not done it, which is something that I've done many, many times. But I did it, and I'm sharing this because you can do it too. All you need to do is get the help that I have gotten. I have supportive therapists and doctors and family, and that's what you need to get you through it. You can do this. I believe in you. If you have any questions about social anxiety disorder and how I deal with it, leave them in the comments below. I'd be happy to talk to you. Also, if you take the Leibowitz scale test and you want to put your score down there, feel free to share it. We can all support each other. I'll talk to you later. Have a great week. Keep smiling. Bye.